brought to you by Bank of Baroda, India's international bank.
Hello and welcome to Chai Chat with Lavina. It's a very interesting day today for you and for me and for everyone here. Because next to me is Tara Naidu, and when you say Tara Naidu and Air India, we know what's going to happen. The result of the Air India-AAJ Tak contest is going to be announced till the end of the show, so you stay on. You have to stick on with us. But anyway, you do. Thank you very much for all your responses. And today, I'm at the Blue Orchid restaurant, if you can see it. This is all-in-one in Northolt in London. And this is a pub that serves Indian food, which is very exquisite. You can only get in this part of the world, I think. And does catering, and it's all in one. Pub, restaurant, birthday parties, shadi parties, you can have all here. So we're not going to have shadi party, we're going to have film party. We're celebrating the 19th year of London Asia Film Festival, but I don't like to call it like that. I like to call it Tongues on Fire. Yes. I love the name.
Yes, that's the company.
Hana?
Yes.
And I have Pushvinder ji with me, who is the founder of the festival. I have Sameer, who's the creative director. I have Mamta Kash, who's an actor and supports it. And we have Rekha, who is the singer. And the singer who has also done singing for Viceroy House of Gurinder Chadda. And that Chai Chat you saw very recently. Thank you all for joining us.
And Rekha is singing live at our festival this year.
So. And that's that plug for you. So go and plug your festival. Tell me more about it.
Okay, we are in our 19th year of the festival. And we've got some amazing films, film events, and film talent. And as I said, Rekha is one of them. We are doing a mushaira at the British Library that's looking at poetry, ghazals, and music. So it's a musical mehfil at British Library.
Yes, which I will be hosting as well. Yes. So that's good. Taraji, we're going to get your view on this festival in a minute. But should I go to Sameer to ask, Sameer, कैसे चुनते हो, क्या करते हो, इतनी फिल्में हैं, and how you got this one together? What is the theme?
हिंदी में बात करूँ या अंग्रेजी में?
जो चाहे, मैं तो हिंदी जहाँ प्लग होती है कर देती हूँ.
तो मेरी तो मिक्स ही हो जाएगी. This year's festival is Memories Beyond the Borders, and we wanted to celebrate. We wanted to mark India's
70th.
Well,
yes, 70th.
Say it right. You've got to say it right.
Okay, should I ask that in English?
Yeah,
because then
do it in English.
Sameer, born and brought up in the UK. Okay. No, so celebrating borders, 70 years like Indo-UK culture here is going on. You just want to walk with them, isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean, it is an iconic year for India. It is the partition of India that we're marking. And we want to look at what young people today think about partition. What do they think about independence? And that's key because they are our memories, they are our parents' memories, they're memories of our grandparents. And there was a world that existed before it, and we want to try and revisit it.
Fantastic. So, the chat is here. On 70th, I get all the memories back of the chat. Got so distracted with the chart. No. Sameer, very interesting concept indeed, Hannah. And Mamta, you've been doing Mughals for so long, 2 years, and it's a tough task. They ruled India for 600 years, so you 2 years are given. It's okay.
I would say they're almost Indian. The Mughals. They're part of world history.
Yes.
British would not have had an empire had it not been for them, because they saw the glitter and they went across. But we've just also pitched a couple of films called Delirium and Delight, which I was lucky enough to executive produce and act in them as well. But coming to this festival, I've been supporting it for the last couple of years because I think it's great. It is very difficult to get independent films with a different voice on.
Yes.
They support that, they support alternative cinema, they support the voice of women, they support things that are awkward and people don't want to talk about yet.
Yes.
So they are at the cutting edge, this festival, and that is why I lend them my support, and I'm very lucky that they asked me to.
Yes.
And again, for the 70th year this year, I think I like to see it as a transfer of power.
Yeah.
To the people it belongs to, not independence. Yeah. It belonged to India and they got their power
Absolutely.
back. And you look at them today, it's a great nation going forward. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud that the British-Indian thing is a friendship thing, that we're doing things together, like the Mughals, we're doing things together, well, with everyone around the world, to make friendships more important than fighting.
Beautiful. And that's what you're celebrating, isn't
That
it?
is what we are celebrating, memories beyond borders. And UK Asian Cultural Year at V&A, we are screening a film with Dave Patel. But more importantly, at BAFTA, at our closing night, we've got Kalki Kochlin and Sabia Samar talking about a film, documentary film they have made. And of course, Gurinder Chadha talking about her film. So it comes to a natural kind of celebration of what we share.
No, definitely. Taraji, would you go and see the festival?
Oh, I'd love
which
to.
would do it, huh?
Oh, of course. I mean, who
It's because
wouldn't?
I think independent film. I mean, how do you go and see cinema out of this, or do you see the cinema in the cinema hall or not? You're not.
I do occasionally. Not that often, but yes, once in a way I do.
Yeah. So in this, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, of course, Taraji has been friends of the festival and has supported the festival in the past.
Yes.
And we look forward to working together. But more importantly, is collaboration with all that's good about India.
Yes, absolutely. And you have collaborated with Gurinder and the film festival. Tell me more about it.
I'm very honoured to be part of this celebration of British talent, Indian talent, Pakistani talent, bringing Asian culture together. And the fact that I'm representing British music, I think, is a huge thing for me. Music is one of the first connections between our tradition and our roots, and the fact that I'm born and brought up in this country. And I still, love poetry, love ghazals, and, one of the songs I'm singing is Farida Khanum ji's Aaj Jaane Ki Zid Na Karo. So these...
वो तो end में हमको गाना है, सोच लेना.
Hai mere paas. No, I need, yeah. So it's such a beautiful expression of who we are and our culture. And I think in today's climate, there's a lot of hatred in the world. There's a lot of unrest, and we need something to bring us together. And I think celebrating talent and music and films is the perfect way.
Oh, fantastic. And the Golgappas are here as well. And this represents Indian culture for me, by the way. I mean,
It smells really good. It smells really good.
Cocktails with charts.
so should we start with the charts and also start our chat on independent film? How difficult? Why did you start this, Pushpinder ji? Do you see and how has it changed over a period of time, the world of independent films?
I think one of the films that we are screening in our festival is called Lipstick Under My Burqa.
Alankrita Srivastav, and I'll be interviewing her, and the censor board has made it all the more famous if the name was not enough.
Yes. As I was saying, that film actually depicts what the problem is. If women want to tell their stories, they have difficulty in men or people on the censor board accepting that kind of films. So not only that they have difficulty in making the film, finding the money, the finances, but in the end, if the story is not traditional, they have really these kind of problems, that they cannot get it to the public. So festivals like ours give them platform to be seen. And this film is closing our festival in Edinburgh and in Leicester and of course in London. So we are so proud to be able to bring films that do not get a platform to be screened.
Is it difficult to talk about difficult women issues, especially when it ranges from sexuality?
I was going to say that actually these stories are not told. They're hidden because our tradition for a time has meant that men lock their women up in their houses and don't allow them out because they're treated as materialistic items. And I think that's horrible because they're human beings and they're equal to us. With a film like Lipstick, when you watch the film, you really understand how unequal society is. And we all have desires, we all have aspirations, and we all have wishes. And we only have one life. And in this one life, we have to make the most of what we can. And if you lock someone up, that's a life wasted. And films like Lipstick actually highlight the importance of just breaking those shackles and saying, I am free, I am living, and what more in a year of independence? You know, when you're saying freedom, well, whose freedom is it really? Women still haven't been freed. You know?
Would you agree, Taraji? Do you think it's difficult and some issues have not been spoken about and they should be?
Maybe a few decades ago it was worse. But there has been improvement. You see women today in all walks of life, whether they're in business or whether they're in films or whichever field they choose to pursue. And definitely we should keep this momentum going and let more and more women pursue their dreams.
Not that easy. Rekha, do you think you feel your issues and the issues of your mum have been projected enough, or they are still not allowed in the public stream?
I think that the idea of tradition and what's happened to our parents and our grandparents, I think it'll always sort of be there in some way or the other. A lot of people in India think that it's the norm for their mum to get slapped around, or, you know, for their sister not to be allowed out the house wearing a short skirt. But it's changing slowly because of it's being made more aware of, because we have social media, we have YouTube, we have people like Farhan Akhtar set up Mard, which is Men Against Rape and Discrimination. And I think it's coming up slowly, but it happens in Western countries too. I mean, I grew up in East Africa. It happens there too. You know, I remember when I lived in India for a while, there was this advert on the television called Doorbell Bajao. So if you hear your neighbor shouting and screaming at their wife, you ring the doorbell, ask for some milk. Little things like this. And I think it's being made more aware of. And I don't think it's ever going to disappear, the fact that women are, you know, looked at sometimes as inferior. But I think the word feminist, and it does get blown out of proportion. I think everyone is a feminist in their own way. If you believe that women are equal to men, you're a feminist.
Do you think it's there in the corporate world still, Taraji? Do you have any personal experience to share?
Well, I'm sure there are some. I personally have not come across any glass ceilings.
Which is a plus point.
which is a plus point, and I think Air India being like an equal opportunities employer, there are many women in high positions, though of course, like I said, it is, you know, growing. In fact, in UK, I think I'm the first lady head.
Yes.
So
Air India. Yes. Yay.
thank you. I mean, it just
Doing
so
well.
happens, but we haven't had a lady head. So yes, but otherwise, personally, I haven't come across these, but I have heard instances of friends and colleagues who face harassment in different ways.
You have to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's what the festival does. Get people talking about the issues that concerns us.
And that are uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Very.
Helen?
The only thing I was going to say is that I'm in a room surrounded by five very powerful women.
Five, sorry.
Five very powerful women. And what I'd love to see is the same table one day, and a group of 5 young men are talking about women in the same way, in the same passion that you are, because then that means that Pushpinderji's passion and this vision of this festival is reaching that message is reaching and it's instilling within us.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the first segment. And it's beautiful. She started this festival to be a women's festival. It's turned out to be everyone's festival. And we want everyone to be for the women and for everyone, for the good and the right. Hai na? So creating this lovely platform for independent filmmakers who can't get uncomfortable subjects seen and talked about. London Asian Film Festival, Tongues on Fire as I like to call. So stay with us, stay tuned. In the next segment we're going to talk about whether it is difficult to be an Asian woman even in Britain in this day and time, and also find out the winner. So stay tuned.